Hey everyone, so I just turned on the record function here in the live stream, so in case that the arrival really comes out bad in the live stream, then you will at least be able to watch it with a good frame rate here in the aftermath when I'm going to upload it as a video. So I do think that is probably the best option we have right now. It's just German internet here. I mean, I'm just living in a major city with a population of about 250,000, so you can't expect good internet in a third world country like Germany here. Alright, in any case, we are now on the approach itself, so it is going to be a Nice runway 2 to right. We've got the wind 240 at 12, and actually runway 2 to left. I do apologize for that. 2 to right is closed by NOTAM. So, I will upload this one after the landing, for sure, in case the live stream doesn't have the performance that you guys want. Well, we can already see the airport of Nice over there, and it is the new Just Sim Nice V2. Well, I'm saying new, it's actually a couple of weeks old now. So that's the basis under which we are flying this. Approaching Mike Uniform Sierra, we're going to leave this on a heading of 090. And in the real world, we'd get radar vectors over here. In the sim, we can probably just take it direct to Sotox to fly the RMP Delta approach down towards runway 22 left. And then from the missed approach point for runway 22, we're going to start the approach visually into 22 left. So that is our idea for what we're going to do over here. Alright, so turning on to the 090 heading, and then I would say we just go direct to Sotox here in the absence of any air traffic control. So here we go, direct to insert, and to Sotox we go. Alright, looks like we just went down to 1,000 feet a minute. That is alright, and we are going to fly a small level off here in flight level 70 before we are going to continue our descent. I could imagine ATC might probably vector us a little bit away from the city here, so let's go ahead and do that same thing. Give me a heading of 080, that should be sufficient to keep us over the actual water line. So, passing 10,000, let's go ahead and turn on the landing lights. Then we do have the seatbelts on, constraint selected, we don't need the landing system. Down on the progress page, it's GPS primary, high accuracy, landing runway is in there, and the start selector is in norm. Perfect. Alright then, going all the way down to 3,000, and then we can go on to QNH. So, set QNH. And then let's quickly cross-check that we are actually going on the correct QNH, so I'm just going to request the latest weather one more time. Weather, Lima, Fox, Mike, November, request, into here, do you want a METAR, send that out. Weather data, here it is. So, 24015, gust 26 now, slightly variable, 14 degrees, 1011. Good thing we requested that. So it just made our approach that little bit more interesting. Alright, so 240 at 15, 14 degrees, 1011. 240/15. Then we now have 14 degrees and 1011. Alright, awesome. Okay then, let's go ahead with the approach checklist, please. Barrow reference, QNH 1011. Seatbelts on, minimum, Barrow 1260. Auto brake, low, engine start cell, norm. Approach checklist complete. T-gas below, even though it doesn't make much of a difference anymore. Alright, so we are clear of the terrain for now. We will have it visual on the arrival. I'm gonna turn the terrain on ND off here again. And I do hope that I do surely hope that our GPWS isn't going to go crazy on the arrival itself. Okay, so looking for 1,000 feet a minute here. There we go. Going to keep this one slightly on the heading so that we don't have this so that we don't have this curve over at Sotox, because I don't want to cut that bit here, because you can see on the chart they want us to fly from Sotok directly to Nanax. So I'm going to go a little bit over here and then direct to Sotox for the approach itself. 3000 by the Fox November point is good. Not sure why that level of arrow is hanging around there on the plan page. It certainly shouldn't. I mean, it's probably attached to our route line over here, but in the plan mode, obviously that should not be there like this. Well, okay, so be it. Hello, Emmanuel in the cockpit.
The cabin is now secure for landing.
Thank you. Alright, so the cabin is ready. Down there is our field. So that is looking pretty good. Alrighty, so everything's pretty much prepared for that approach. If we look down at the ocean, we can see the swells over here. So that already tells us it is going to be rough on the approach. But that is how we like it, isn't it? And good question there from Birdman in the comments. How significant is the QNH discrepancy in Airbus on the landing? Well, it's 27 feet per hectopascal. So, you know, if it's just 1 hectopascal, not a problem. But imagine it to be 10 hectopascal difference. Imagine if we dialed in 1001 instead of 1011. And in that case, we would have 270 feet difference. And now remember, 1 nautical mile, about 300 feet on a 3-degree glide slope. So if we dial the QNH in, that is 10 hectopascals below what we are supposed to have, then all of a sudden we're going to miss the runway threshold by 1 nautical mile. And I think you will agree that that is rather significant. Alright, we could easily fly a visual approach here, we do have everything inside, but I kind of want to fly the RNAV because with that weather, you know, let's get it in stabilized and then we can still start reducing a little bit later. Rate of descent looking good, arriving approximately at Sotox in 3000 feet, then we can reduce our speed in a level segment, and that should be just about perfect. Alright, so let's go direct Sotox now. Just a very minor cut here into the procedure, so that's looking pretty good for me. Nav. Okay. So, Sotox in 8 miles, seatbelts are on. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. Let's have them seated early, because it might get pretty rough, especially with the winds 240. It's going to be almost down the runway, but it's going to come slightly from over the land. And if you look at all the hills that you've got over here, then those gusting 25 knots coming over the hills, that is going to make for some turbulence. So depending on Microsoft Flight Simulator, we might be in for an interesting arrival over here. We can hope. We can certainly hope. So the desal point is located rather early over here. I mean, that's easily like, what, 7 miles or something that it wants for the speed reduction. But I'll tell you what, we are going to do that nonetheless. So, well, I'll keep it flying down onto 3000 feet over here, and we'll just let the speed slowly come back by itself. I mean, there is a 200 knot restriction over Nanax, which we are more or less going to abide. We'll be level 2 and a bit miles before. We're losing a little bit of speed over here, even though just a tiny bit. So, overall, yeah, I'd say we are going to be slightly above the 200 knots, but not significant. Can obviously always just do this, thrust idle open descent, and then just activate the approach phase already. Here we go. And now our speed is coming back all by its own. Alright, those are some really large swells down there. That is Gonna be a fun landing. That's gonna be a fun landing. We can see that just by the look at the water. By the way, guys, this is part of the reason why I always say that it is rather important to have good visuals in a simulator. Because many fans of other simulations or of other simulators always tell me like, yeah, but visuals are not important if the aircraft don't work. And, well, I honestly tell you the aircraft do work when they are developed well, which, however, is not the case with many add-ons. But that's another point. Speed All-Star. But the important point here is that flying an airliner is 75% looking outside and 25% looking inside. Alright, flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Approach nav, final blue. So, 3 miles to the delta point. I'm gonna keep it in config 1 over here until we start our final descent. Halt. Okay, so, small level segment here. It's not a continuous descent approach anymore, but honestly tell you, we are over the water. Whom are we going to disturb? The dolphins? Well, in that case, I apologize for the dolphins. I also apologize for not being able to make any dolphin-like noises right now. But, no, you will not get me do that. Not on a live stream, not on a recorded video. Alright, so we are approaching the descent point, 1 nautical mile to run. So the brake should come alive by about 0.6 miles, roughly. 27 knots of headwind, and that is not good. Alright, here comes the brake, exactly at 0.6 as imagined. Speed final approach. Ooh, interesting. That was a nice overshoot. About 75 feet. 1 dot here is 100 feet. Okay, go around altitude. Let's just cross-check that. Yeah, 3,000 feet set. Right, that's our landing runway. We're going to stay to the left of all of these rocks up there. Okay, flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2. Gear down. Gear down. So, let the drag develop. Flaps 3. Speed check, flaps 3. Okay, landing checklist, ECA memo, landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. You can very nicely see ground speed mini in action over here. Look at that commanded speed. Okay, so autopilot off, auto thrust off, flight directors off, bird on. So, set runway track.
100 of that.
Checked. Okay, looking excellent.
Minimum.
Continue. So, landing runway is located just over there. We're gonna land on the left runway. Beautiful look out there, isn't it? Really beautiful look. So we're about a mile from touchdown now. Let's continue our descent. At about 45% N1. In order to maintain our speed. Pretty much like that. Okay, and there comes the landing runway. Feels a bit like Madeira, doesn't it? Just that the view is a little bit nicer over here. So it starts getting a bit more gusty over here. That's our landing runway, 22 left. I cannot make out any puppies right now. Oh, okay, there they are. Well, let's keep it coming down. Keep it coming down. I think this looks alright.
Approaching.
It's just very hard to see the puppies against this background.
500.
Think that is showing 3 wides. Just looks rather high right now. But well, 1,000 feet a minute keeps us going nicely onto the markers, so I take it. Okay, now we're on 3 reds.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Come on, don't float.
5.
Okay, we're down. So, spoiler, reverse green decel.
One.
70 knots.
200 meters remaining.
Manual brakes. Okay, next exit to the right then, and here we are. Welcome to Nice. Okay, getting off to the right, and here we are. So, gonna start the timer over here, because we will consider doing single engine taxi. Might just actually do it like this. And we are going to cross the runway straight, I believe. I do believe that is the normal taxi route here. So, clear on the right side. I mean, it's a construction site anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Approaching. 0-4 left.
Intentionally. Alright, and on to the terminal. So, that certainly was an interesting approach there. I do hope that you guys enjoyed that one. Certainly was fun for me to fly, especially with the gusts that came in the back, or in the end of the approach. So, definitely an interesting little one. Alright, so, for now, I would like to say thank you very much for watching so far already. We are just quickly going to do the after landing checklist. Radar and predictive wind shear off, after landing checklist complete. And with that, I am going to close this video. So if you're watching this one in the aftermath through the video that I just recorded of the approach, then thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, my friends.